Hi, Rowan. I brought home a big book, and let me tell you, it's really big. From school. The other day I went and I grabbed this book because one of our comprehension pages in our workbook, you have to read this story first. Okay, so it's called Geo and His Family. And when we read books to the kids, I usually read them, after we do the calendar and stuff. We try to read at least one book every day, sometimes more than that. But we like to first talk about the concepts about print. Like, this is the cover. Of course, this is the back. Sometimes we'll look at that first. When you open up the book, the very first page you see is the title page. These books are so huge that I had to kind of set it on a chair here because I don't have my easel. So this title page has a title on it again, Geo and His Family. And here's some pictures of Geo making some funny faces. So Geo is the boy's name. We know that because it's a capital letter. Okay, I have a feeling that's short for Giovanni. I've had some boys in my class named Giovanni, and I think that's kind of a nickname for Giovanni. Geo, here he's making a funny face, really funny face with his tongue out. There, he's kind of squinting his eyes, and he's sticking his tongue out and making a funny face there, okay? So again, this book is called Geo and His Family, okay? I'm gonna skip these few pages right here. And we start right here. Okay, and we start with the first day of the week, which is Sunday. Geo lives in New Mexico with his mother and father. He has a lot of fun with his family. So right here it says, oh, I was wrong. Geo is a nickname for Giano. So Geo is his nickname. And down here they're showing us a map. They're showing us where New Mexico is. That is a state. Okay, it's by Arizona, Colorado. I've driven through New Mexico. I haven't spent much time there, but I do know one thing. It's very hot in New Mexico. Okay, I'm gonna turn the page. It says, Geo and Mama are at home. They play games together. Now, Mama, I think they speak Spanish. So instead of mom or mother, it's Mama. Mama. Geo and his mama, or Mama. And they're playing a game. They're playing a game. It looks like they're building with these blocks, wooden blocks. And I'm going to turn the page. It's such a big book, you guys. I have to kind of do it like this. Now, here, the day of the week has changed. So the title on the top of this says Monday. You guys recognize that from our calendar? After school, Papa teaches Geo how to play the guitar. His papa is his father. Geo's parents meet him after school. Geo has his own guitar. Isn't that nice? His daddy's guitar is big and his guitar is small. Okay, so he does a lot of different things with his family. Okay, Mama teaches Geo how to dance. They're having fun. Their father is playing the guitar, and Geo and his mama are dancing. Geo stomps on a suitcase to make a noise. Instead of the floor, he jumps on top of a suitcase, so it makes more noise when he stomps. They're trying to make noise, and they're snapping their fingers and doing a dance. Now it says Tuesday. Before Geo goes to school, Geo and Papa work on a map of the world. I think he may be a little older than kindergarten, and so what they're doing, they're getting a great big map out. The map is the flat one on the floor, and the one right here is called the globe. It's round. We have both of those in our classroom. There's Geo and his Papa. Okay. This map shows the countries that Papa's family visited before they came to the United States. So they came all the way over here before they came to the United States. They went all the way, and I can't tell where they started right there. I think that they are started in, there's South America, Africa, Italy, Spain, okay? And so look, they're showing how they went all the way from here and they visited all these countries and then they moved to New Mexico in the United States. This is Wednesday. Gio and Papa visit Abuelo after school. Okay, now I only know very little Spanish, but I do know what Abuelo means. Abuelo means it's his grandfather. So his father is Papa and his grandfather is Abuelo. Okay. Abuelo shows Gio pictures of their family. And I think these pictures are probably very old. Maybe this is his great-great-grandfather. Here they're looking at a photo album. Abuelo and Papa hold photos of Gio's family. Okay. So he went to visit his grandfather. Abuelo and Gio like to walk in the woods. It says Gio climbs a tree with his abuelo, and here they're going for a walk in the woods. Those are beautiful pictures, aren't they? They're real photographs. They're not drawings, they're real photographs. Okay, now we're on Thursday, so we've had a page for, let's see, do we start on Monday? Oh, we start on Sunday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Gio helps Abuela feed the chickens after school. They gather the eggs too. They must live on a farm. Or maybe they have chickens in their backyard. I think they live on a farm. Now, Abuela is his grandmother. Abuelo, when you hear O at the end, is grandfather. And Abuela is grandmother. So there they are. They're feeding the chickens and they're gathering eggs. I bet they're going to make those for dinner or breakfast. Then Abuela teaches Gio how to use a wrench to fix his bike. So he brought his bike with him to visit Grandma and Grandpa, and his grandmother, Abuela, is using a tool to show him how to fix it. He's changing the seat. Looks like he's adjusting it and making it higher. Okay, now we're on a new day of the week. We are on Friday. Tio Jacobo is carving a donkey. Gio helps sand small pieces of wood. Gio and Tio Jacobo. Now, Tio is an uncle. Gio likes to tell Tia Lori funny secrets. She laughs a lot. Tia is an aunt. Okay, so this is his aunt. He's telling her a funny secret and she's making her laugh. Okay, now we're on Friday. Next, Tio Greg, this is another uncle, shows Gio how to make jewelry. Gio stamps pictures on the silver. So this is silver. He has a special machine and he has a hammer, and they're going to cut the silver out and make little things for necklace, maybe a necklace or a bracelet. Okay. Then Tio Greg takes Gio for a ride on his motorcycle. Wow! Now, I have driven through New Mexico, and this is what it looks like. Look at that. It is desert, and you have some hills here. Very hot. He's on the back of his motorcycle. I'm glad they're wearing a helmet, right? That looks like a fun motorcycle ride. Kind of a curvy, windy road. Now we are on Saturday. Saturday. It is the weekend. Gio's family visits an old ranch called Las Golondrinas. My Spanish is not very good. Golondrinas. I should have my husband reading this. He speaks Spanish. But here they are. They went to an old ranch, an old farm. There are many animals at the ranch. There's some sheep. It says Gio feeds grass to a goat. Gio watches women make yarn from the sheep's wool. There's a big loom where they weave it and they make yarn. Okay, now we're on Saturday. It is a harvest festival. The fruit on the trees are ready to eat. Gio picks an apple. Look at, in September, we're going to be doing a lot of little apple activities and reading books about apples. So here he is. It's harvest time. He's picking apples. Gio turns a wheel that crushes the apples. The apple juice pours out below. This is called a cider press. Okay, you can squeeze the juice out of the apple and it makes apple juice. Now we have juicers. I have a juicer that does that. Okay, now this is still Saturday. They're having a busy day. After the harvest festival, Gio visits Tio Arsenio and Tia Dora at their home. They show Gio their horses and some puppies. This is an aunt and uncle. And they're going, and he sees the horses with his uncle, and he sees the puppy with his aunt. Tia Dora gives Gio a good lunch. Then Gio rests. He's had a busy day. So here he is. He's just resting, and he's eating a nice lunch. Almost done. Now we're at Sunday again. A whole week has gone by. Gio's family visits Tia Evelyn and Tio Joe. Tia Dolores cooks tortillas for dinner. Ooh, look at that. They've got a dough. It's kind of like a bread dough. You use flour and water, and they're making round balls, and they're rolling them out. They're making tortillas. Who likes tortillas? I do. Gio makes face tortillas while Tio Joe tastes all the food. Tia Dolores, Gio, and Tio Joe. Long book, isn't it? This is still Sunday. Back home, Gio reads a story with his mother. Okay? And it says, "Good night, Gio." Wow, he had a really busy week, didn't he? And especially the weekend. He did a lot on the weekend. And that's what weekends are for, I think. Okay? Now, I'm going to do one more quick thing. At the end of that book, there's another little story, but it's short, called A Tasty Treat. It says, a recipe tells how to make something. Follow the steps of the recipe. And can you tell what she's making here on this big grill? Tortillas. Those are Mexican or Spanish. Abuela's tortilla. This is what you need. 1 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of oil, 1/2 cup of water. So they're showing you there's the oil and the flour and the water and the salt. Salt. Mix the oil, salt, and flour. Add the water. Pat the dough with your hands. Make little round balls from the dough. Pat the dough into round flat circles. Have an adult heat the cooking pan. Place the dough in the pan. When you see bubbles on the top of the tortilla, it's done. Hey, that is a very simple recipe. If you guys want to make those, that would be fun to do over the weekend. Make your own homemade tortillas. We're almost done. When the tortillas are done, you can fill them. You can even eat them plain. My husband loves tortillas, and he likes to cook them over the gas heat, and he likes to just put butter. And he said when he was little, because he grew up in another country, in Costa Rica, and they used to put cinnamon and sugar and butter on their tortillas. They're showing you here you could put vegetables, green peppers, and onions, and cheese. You could make a quesadilla. You could make a taco. Isn't that nice? That was a really good book. I'm glad I brought that home to read, but it was a very long book. So let me come over here. And that was a good story for a Friday, right? That kind of made Friday an easy day. So I think you have time to listen to that story. Okay, the reason I read that is because remember when we did this yesterday? In the back of the book, it had something to, on the back of the page, it had another assignment, another activity. And this is what it says, okay? It says to think of, in the middle of the page here, you see an oval. Okay, think of what that story was about, but we have to think of the main idea. The main idea. So I don't want you to tell me he made tortillas. That did happen in the story. Okay? I don't want you to tell me he rode a motorcycle with his uncle. That happened in the story. But the main idea is, what is that whole book about? Okay? So think about it for a minute. I think every single page was about Tio, but not just Tio all alone. Who was he with? Tio and his family. So I'm going to make a picture of a little boy. Now, I might not have time to do everyone because this video is kind of getting long. Tio has black hair and he's small. I'm looking at him and he looks like he's maybe 6 or 7 years old. I don't think he's in kindergarten, but I'm not sure. Now, it starts out with his mommy and daddy, right? His papa and mama. So I'm going to draw both of them in the picture. I'll show it to you in a minute. Okay, here's his mama. Remember how his papa he taught him music, taught him how to play the guitar. Here's his mama. And then he also had grandma, grandpa, aunts, and uncles. But I'm just going to start here. This is Tio and his family. Now the boxes up here, those happen to be rectangles, don't they? The boxes are for you to put the other parts of the story. Okay, so the main part of the story is that Tio loves his family, right? He does lots of fun things with his family. So you can decide, and yours does not have to be the same as mine. I'm going to do what he likes to do with his father. Okay, they're sitting down and they are playing the guitar. I know that's kind of a hard picture to draw, so you can do the best you can, and you don't have to do the same as me. Okay, and then remember with his aunt, he makes tortillas. So I'm going to draw a picture of Gio making tortillas with his aunt. Okay, and then I'm going really fast. And then another thing he did, remember how he rode them? He went to the ranch and he got to see the horses. So that's another thing Gio did with his family. I'm going to draw a horse here. Okay. And I'm kind of doing this in a hurry, so it's not going to be as good as if I was taking my time. And then one more part of the story, let's see. I kind of like at the end of the story when he rides off in Mexico on the motorcycle, he gets to go with his uncle and he gets to ride a motorcycle. So I'm going to draw a motorcycle. Now remember, you don't have to do the same parts of the story that I did. And they both had helmets on, didn't they? So here he is with his uncle, and they're on a motorcycle. Now, I'm probably not going to color this, but here we go. So Gio and his family. Here he is playing the guitar. I didn't quite finish that one. Here he is making tortillas. Here he is petting the horsey. We could say looking at the puppies. Here he is on the motorcycle, or you could do any of the other details in the story. And then, boys and girls, on the back of this one, this is kind of the same thing. It says, draw or write about the topic of a tasty treat in the top right, and in the top left box we're going to write about Gio and his family, and then down at the bottom we get to say how are they alike. Okay, so on the top we do Gio and his family again. I'm just going to show you. You can draw a picture of Gio and his family. Okay, this one was the tasty treat, was about tortillas. And then how are they alike? Well, I think they're alike because he liked to do lots of fun things with his family, right? So you know what, I tell you what, let's make this one optional. If your kids want to do that and follow the directions below, they can. I'm just looking and this is 18 minutes, so all right. Sometimes we don't get to the backs of the paper, but this is all about story comprehension. We read a story and then we want to see if the kids understand it, so they have to think of the topic, the main idea, and then 4 details. This one is the most important one, okay? Let's try to do this one. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.